Good day, my friend. What's your thought on minimum wage?
I think minimum wage is at the right rate right now.
Really?
Yes,
Why?
it is. Because let's say my mother is sick and I take home $180,000, right? And I pay rent, I pay water bill, I pay electricity. When the minimum wage, nobody is working for the minimum wage right now. And let's say I pay my helper $17,000. You know how much money that is coming out of my salary? Minimum wage has increased about 3 times, and I have not had a salary increase 3 times since minimum wage has increased.
We can't tear down Buju. Let me tell you this blood clot. We're not going to leave this to me on the sidewalk and beg on the bread, you know.
So it is at the right rate.
Is minimum wage a governmental idea, you know, to keep some of the population poor?
No, minimum wage has increased steadily and has increased based on inflation.
So who deserves minimum wage?
Who deserves minimum wage?
No one wants it, so who deserves it?
Minimum wage is just a guide for, and every country has a minimum wage or a minimum rate. So it's just a guide for you how to pay your employees.
Okay, does this minimum wage thing, will it discourage young youths and new high school graduates?
No, it should not.
To not want to take on simple jobs like wholesale?
No, it should not. It should not. Last year, for instance, I used to pay like a laborer, let's say $3,000 per day, right? To do maybe, let's say he's doing filling black pockets. This year, since the minimum wage has increased, that same laborer who I would have paid $3,000 per day is now demanding $5,000 per day.
Okay, should this minimum wage thing be cancelled out and just give people a set wage that can cover all their necessities and bills?
The truth is, every country must have a minimum wage, or else people will be paid less than the minimum wage, or some people will be paid more. And let me give you an example. I know this security guard, right? And he's basically earning a little above the minimum wage. His mother is not well, right? And he has to go to work, and he has to leave somebody to take care of his mother. Now you're telling this security guard who gets maybe $20,000 per week that he should pay the person who is assisting his mother more than $15,000 per week or $16,000 per week. It's unfair.
Okay, they say the people that work the hardest always get the less pay. You think these people deserve more for their hard labor?
Come again, you say the people that work the hardest, but hardest in terms of what?
Like physical, for instance.
Give me an example.
Physical effort is putting a lot of your strength, a lot of your energy.
Not really, because sometimes the person who you think might work the hardest may not give you a full 8 hours worth of job for the day, so maybe not.
Okay, so these people that work the hardest and get the less pay, what should they do about that?
What they should do about that?
Yeah, if they're so concerned, because there are many people that might, you know, be uncomfortable with it. And
well, it depends on the employer. What can the employer afford? You understand? It depends. And it depends on what both of you negotiate to do. You know, it depends on the agreement, right? Some people just don't want to work. They don't even want to work the minimum wage. They don't even want to work.
Okay, in this time and age in Jamaica, is hard work really the key to success? Can you be successful, or can you succeed in life working hard and earning minimum wage?
Yes, you can earn minimum wage.
I'm a walk and sweat all my blood clot boot for my one coming a batty boy. I'm not draw my ass nowhere.
By working harder, of course, and yes, you can earn. It's not the amount of money you earn, you know, it's the amount of money you save. You understand? So I might be earning, let's say, $15,000 per day, and you might have somebody who is earning $15,000 per week, but yet that person who is earning $15,000 per week or $16,000 per week may be saving more money than I am saving. Right? So it's not the amount of money you earn. You understand? It's the amount of money you are able to save.
Okay.
And it depends on how you invest your money, how you diversify your money. Because you can be earning minimum wage, but you decide, so well, when you get a little pay, you go and buy something and sell and make additional money. Some people think that they must just settle with the minimum wage only. But some people might think that they need to hustle, or they need to diversify their money, they need to invest in other things apart from just hand to mouth. But they might invest their things instead of saving their money in the bank. They might decide to buy stocks and shares, or buy things to sell.
Okay, thank you for your opinion.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much, Councillor Waynette, Straw Nelson. I know the Straw and I wasn't so familiar with the Nelson. She's doing so well though as our Master of Ceremonies. My colleagues on the platform, ladies and gentlemen, comrades all, it's indeed a pleasure for us to host our fourth in this series of town halls in which we manifest our commitment to the principle of participatory democracy. We value the input, the dialogue, consultation that a forum like this provides for people who are interested in matters of development and matters affecting our beloved island of Jamaica. We are coming together at a time when there are reasons to think that our democracy is under threat. We see manifestations of the arrogance of power concentrated in those who hold it for its own sake. Remarks like, there's no need for an opposition, coming out of the head of government of the country. The idea that they will never surrender Jamaica to the PNP. A repeated comment actually by a senior member of the government, a cabinet minister. And then the institutional attacks that are undermining the fabric, the architecture of accountability that has been constructed since independence and was strengthened under the last People's National Party administration when we developed the Integrity Commission legislation and brought it to Parliament. And we see where there have been efforts over the last 2 years to dismantle it or neuter it, undermine its efficacy and its powers. And in the context of the incomplete investigation of the Prime Minister's own personal financial affairs and the whole question of the potential offense of illicit enrichment, where we have seen the appointment of somebody not qualified and somebody who has clearly manifested bias in favor of the Prime Minister in the very matter which the FID, which he has been appointed now to head, has to investigate, is tasked with investigating. And these are just the latest manifestations of a trend which included things like requiring senators to sign undated letters of resignation, in order to have the sword of Damocles over their heads in the event that they didn't choose to follow a particular position that the Prime Minister wanted them to take, where we have seen the appointment of a Chief Justice being put on probation by the head of the executive branch of government, the rushed passage of the NIDS legislation despite major misgivings having been articulated by the opposition as to its compatibility with the rights of privacy and other rights under the Constitution, only to be forced to wheel and come again when we successfully took that matter to court, and the court threw out the entire legislation as being unconstitutional. And then, of course, the serial use of repeated states of emergency in an unprecedented fashion over a period of 6 or 7 years, with over 25 states of emergency declared during that period, again ruled by the Constitutional Court to have been an unconstitutional use of that power and a violation of the Constitution. So what is on the ballot in this upcoming election includes the very democracy, the very freedoms, the very constitutional order that has underpinned our way of life, our politics in this country. And we need to rescue Jamaica from those who are manifesting a capacity and intent to render it asunder. In addition to that, we are committed to strengthening good governance in the country. We are committed to strengthening the Integrity Commission, ensuring its continued independence from political interference, and providing additional tools which have been agreed in the past and which this government has reneged on its commitment to make part of our law. I'm thinking in particular of the mechanism of unexplained wealth orders, which was one of the things that was agreed to be a deliverable of the government under the Memorandum of Understanding, which gave rise to CMOC, the Crime Monitoring and Oversight Committee, in 2019, and which the government has refused to implement. We will be doing that. We will be pursuing the impeachment legislation, which was tabled as a private member's bill by yours truly. I didn't develop it. It originated from Bruce Golding when he was Prime Minister, but they never pursued it. And it was after that heinous incident of a member of Parliament caught on video with a stool beating up his woman in a car park, his lady in a car park, that I saw the need to bring some mechanism of accountability for that kind of behavior that would bring the office of a parliamentarian into disrepute. And I dusted off Bruce Golding's bill and I made some minor but important modifications, small I should say, but important modifications, and tabled it. And this government, despite it having been a commitment of the Jamaica Labour Party, a manifesto commitment in 2016, they have resolutely blocked it from moving forward. So we see the environment we're in, we see the threats to the democracy that the country is facing, and I use this opportunity again to call on all well-thinking Jamaicans, in particular those who may not be particularly interested in the politics of the country, may not find themselves allied to any political party, may indeed not have ever even voted, or haven't voted in a long time. This is your time to come and defend our way of life. This is your time to come and defend our democratic institutions and the freedoms that none of us should take for granted, which are now under threat. I wanted to just touch on a few of our policy and programmatic commitments that we will be pursuing when we form government. which by all accounts will be soon rather than later. We have gone through a decade in which, despite a boom in construction fueled by various economic factors, including the reduction of transfer taxes and stamp duties, the cheaper cost of credit, and the liberalizing of the planning laws around development. We saw a boom in the construction of houses in uptown areas, houses which were selling at prices which ordinary Jamaicans on salaries cannot afford. But there has been almost nothing done to construct affordable homes for the many thousands of Jamaicans who need access to affordable housing. And right now, for many young Jamaicans and many Jamaicans who are in salaried positions but who find themselves part of the working poor or struggling middle class, find themselves excluded from the possibility of owning a home. The People's National Party has always been committed to providing housing solutions for those who would otherwise not have the opportunity to own their own homes. If you check our record, it's a strong one, from Harbour View to Mona Heights to Hope Pastures to many other schemes, Greater Portmore and many of the other Portmore communities, and of course Operation Pride, providing a mechanism for the regularization and the bringing of dignity to informal settlements, providing them with infrastructure, organizing them into community organizations, and putting in the titling mechanisms. Unfortunately, although some 50,000 titles were issued, there are several of those schemes which have not been completed, and this government has shown no inclination to complete them. And we are committed to completing them. We are committed to ensuring that they get their titles and infrastructure to the extent that it is complete. And indeed, we are committed to rolling out solutions for informal settlements to bring them into the ownership category in the country so that they can pass on wealth from one generation to the next and move themselves out of poverty into more dignified living conditions. We're also committed to building 50,000 affordable housing units in the first 5 years of the next PNP government. And we'll be...
So yeah, the mic. Can I put up the mic? No man, can I hold the mic? So yeah, my general, you see, greetings. We have just a couple questions here, you see me? Do you think that the government should be policed, meaning that there should be certain laws that govern the government?
Yeah man, basically, yeah. There should have law for rules and regulation. Just like the citizen, they have rules and regulations and laws and everything. Have it for the government same way. You see? Yeah, man, I think that is right.
Alright, should the government on a yearly basis declare their assets to the public and give an account of how they come by them to the public on a yearly basis?
Yeah man. They call it interest of conflict of interest.
Yeah.
Or interest of conflict. That's where you want to put it. Yeah man, because you're going now. It don't make sense. You don't come in politics now as a poor man. You grow up in a one-bedroom house with your mother and things. And you just come in politics and all of a sudden you become a millionaire. Politics don't really bet people become millionaire just so.
So you think that some of these ministers become millionaire by
Yeah, because them have this access and this opportunity with them that really can have access to certain things. See, by for instance then, you becomes a minister. See?
Yeah.
Until he becomes a minister. Remember, you know, say land in this country is free because nobody will come around on land. Yeah. What are we going to come say this land? No 4 parents, no 6 parents, and no 10 parents never buying a land and not being a land.
So you think they shouldn't sell land?
So no land no for sell.
Should be hand down?
Minister them no when them becomes in a government. They realize that they never have no land before. Or as them becomes minister and prime ministers and leaders of this and that, the whole of them start have land. But them all of a sudden must get so much land from. See? And them not take look for themselves. They might take more than when them can manage. You see me? So them need to have this accountability. If you know say every year they give an account for where you achieve.
Okay, so what do you think about the Prime Minister want to remove the Auditor General from the Integrity Commission? He wants to remove the Auditor General.
Well, I don't really fully understand where they really are dealing with this still. Because they must say the Auditor General is supposed to be in the Integrity Commission. Now, if I two different role,
Put up a mic.
see, a 2 different role. See, so because the Auditor General have a role where they control for themselves. Integrity Commission is a different role, don't it?
Yeah.
So basically,
the Integrity Commission is a body of people, which the Auditor General is a part of that body.
okay.
Yes.
So
The government.
them should have a new heads for the Auditor General instead of a new head for the Integrity Commission instead of the
Auditor General. So the Prime Minister basically wants to remove the Auditor
I hear
General.
the argument from there still.
Yeah.
I hear the argument from there still, but
So being that.
When them do that now, they must say a politics, because they must say the Auditor General depend the opposition side. That's why they want to move on.
Okay.
And most that. So a politics, my youth, a politics.
Okay. So do you think that the government, the Prime Minister act of wanting to remove the Auditor General, is it think that is kind of threatening to the people's trust in him?
Well, you know, I don't tell you. When you watch a clip, you know, the Prime Minister must be a U-Tech in a look, what I call it now, in a
Conference?
conference with some students up there, you know,
Yeah.
in a room. And it's like a youth to ask the Prime Minister a question, and like he must say something pertaining to a certain thing. And the Prime Minister pop, answer him and I bluff him, boof him. I say boof him, mean answer him, I angle him, But the Prime Minister, you don't deal with the sense of the country like that. See, no matter what question a person asks you, you try to deal with them and answer them in a calm place. That one next student will come and ask you, Prime Minister, if you apologize to the student, because you ask a question and the Prime Minister, so you answer him, first of all, you apologize. See, for the video cut. See,
Okay.
so basically, they need to show respect. See? Yeah, they need to show respect.
Okay. So do you think that the government should, since the people elected the government, do you think that he should ask the people for consent to remove the Auditor General?
You know, everything I do, because I people give them power, so everything I do, you ask the people, you don't do nothing for your own.
Okay. So okay, so do you think that the Prime Minister wanting to remove the Auditor General without the people's consent and without the opposition agreeing, do you think that is kind of a dictatorship move?
Well, yes, that is a very forcible move when you want to stick up off for your own. And here next thing again now, this thing them calling him power. This thing them calling him power because remember say the ruling government have majority seat in a parliament. With the opposition don't really have much star in a parliament, you know. See, the one can but them not have much star. Because the opposition have how much people in a parliament for the opposition. 10 people in there, I'm not saying 10 people in there in a parliament as opposition. You see me?
Yeah.
And the ruling government have about what, 30 odd?
They have majority of the seats.
Majority of the seat. See? So you realize anything them do, they just do it because them have amount of vote
Okay.
towards anything we're going to do. So they will need no consent from the opposition. That is a bad.
Okay, sir.
Prime Minister have 28 bank account. Well, I tell you the truth, I don't really know still, because I don't know the banking system to know what bank account I really must say. But when I say, see, if you really have 28 bank account, a wickedness that to the nation. If you also come up as a poor little boy, and your mother in a one bedroom and one room, and you just come off 28 bank account, and have how much land, and have how much place, and have how much that. Politics can't get that. So some investigation needs to get to go about how you come by all of these things. All the enrichment that come. No? Yeah, we want to know if a corruption, well, you know, say, you face a consequence. Basically, that is it. See? But, you know, really, I just say, you ain't enough and in bank book and right there. Everybody have the right to have the money.
Yeah.
See? But
Okay.
how you get it?
Okay. Okay, so
Half of the poor people, them, I work hard and care about their life, and you just come and just have the things.
So what you think about him giving the poor 16,000 for minimum wage when he has so much money? Do you think that he should contribute something more out of his own towards...
Your grandma. So if you have a good country, a good nation to run, you need to take more interest in your people. You can't run a country and you pay people $16,000 a week. For them work with them. Yes, they food out there. I sell some beer. Bus fare, so there for them come out. One lunch at $600. Yeah. If you want to pay people $16,000 a week for them pay, you go around and you clamp down on them things where you sell expensive in the country. I'm saying $16,000 can value and can go through for the week. But when things are selling so dear, $16,000 can't help me down. You see, $16,000 cannot help. See? $16,000 can't help. You need for the price of house too expensive. See?
Yeah.
The price of one car on a local island here, too dear. For people buy a piece of land, too dear, and land no bill and come from nowhere. See? For people pay rent for living somewhere, too expensive. See? Water rate, too expensive. Light bill, too expensive. With $16,000 can do. How much you tin of milk?
Or $400.
Alright, for drink some tea, don't it? How much you pound of cornmeal we can? When we usually turn cornmeal and eat, how much you pound of cornmeal now?
About $150.
So, what that tell us?
Okay, that's...
Cost of living get high, things too high.
So how much would you, if you should give him the Prime Minister advice, how much would be the maximum that you think you would tell him to set the minimum? They say minimum wage, but what would you set the maximum?
Alright. You see, minimum wage can be at any level. Depends on how the expenditure or how things are selling in the country. Because for instance then, if a pound of sugar sell for $10, you don't need $16,000 for minimum wage.
Okay.
You understand what I mean?
Okay.
If you get a pound of rice, $15 for a pound of rice, you don't need $16,000 for minimum wage.
You're saying that minimum wage should be based on the cost of living.
Cost of living in the country.
Cost of goods and services.
Simple. See, if me and a rent a house, remember say me I come work yesterday, over yesterday, in another store there, and me I get $16,000 for my pay. Now for the pay rent, I'm never to pay much a month for rent. We keep not supposed to have to pay $20,000 or $25,000 a month for rent. I'm supposed to pay at least a $2,000 a month for rent or $1,500. Seeing that is all you bet your country move forward.
So you say you should take those things into consideration when creating minimum wage?
Yeah, and step up on the cost. Alright, if you can't get to the price of things, because things too expensive, you can't get to bring it down back. Right? See? Give the people them $30,000 a week. $30,000 a week that them can face the expense of the country.
So $30,000 a week should be minimum wage?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, people are feeling to my youth. I remember now my people.
Hot water channel, straight to the max. Bring the thing to the people then. Original generous speed. Same way. Man, big up hot water channel, enough ice cream. Yeah man, big up yourself.